All right, today we're going to take a little trip, a journey inside your own mind. We're going to pull back the curtain on all these hidden forces and, these little mental shortcuts that are quietly shaping almost every thought and decision you make.
So let's start with a big question. Are you really the one in charge of your decisions? I mean, it seems obvious, right? Of course you are. But what if I told you that for most of your day, you're not actually in the driver's seat, that something else is running the show? You see, a huge chunk of your mental life, I'm talking everything from tying your shoes to that gut feeling you get about someone new, it all runs completely on autopilot. It's this incredibly powerful system working behind the scenes, no conscious effort required from you at all.
And it makes perfect sense when you think about it. Your brain is just an absolute efficiency machine. It's constantly being bombarded with information, and processing all of that takes a ton of energy. So, to keep from just completely burning out, it creates this autopilot system. Its whole job is to save that precious mental energy by creating shortcuts for all the routine stuff we do.
But, and this is the really crucial part, there's a trade-off. While these shortcuts make us super efficient, they are definitely not perfect. They work based on predictable patterns, which means they can also lead to some very predictable mistakes in how we think.
Now, there's a scientific name for these little mental glitches: cognitive bias. That sounds complicated, but all it really means is that it's a predictable way our brain shortcuts can misfire. It causes us to see the world or interpret information in a way that isn't always totally logical.
Think of it like this. You're walking a path you know really well through the woods. Your brain knows the way, so it kind of switches off, stops paying close attention. And 99% of the time, that's totally fine. But a cognitive bias is like taking that same shortcut and not noticing that a new log has fallen and is blocking the path. It's a good shortcut, a well-intentioned one, that just happens to lead you to the wrong place this time.
So these things aren't just some abstract psychological theory. Nope, they show up in our lives every single day. Let's look at a couple of the most common ones, and just see if any of these sound a little familiar to you.
Okay, first up, and this one is a biggie: confirmation bias. This is basically our brain's deep desire to be right. It makes us actively go looking for information that agrees with what we already believe, and at the same time, it helps us ignore, or maybe just downplay, anything that might challenge us.
You ever notice how your social media feed just magically seems to show you exactly what you want to see? Or how in the middle of an argument, you can suddenly remember every single little fact that supports your side, but you just draw a total blank on the other person's points? Well, that is confirmation bias in action. It just feels good to be right, and our brains are totally wired to chase that feeling.
All right, next we have the anchoring bias. This is our tendency to get stuck on the very first piece of information we get. That first number, that first fact, it acts like an anchor, It just tethers all of our future judgments to that one starting point, even if that starting point is completely random.
Oh man, stores use this against us all the time. You see a shirt with a tag that says originally $100, but it's on sale for $50. That first number, the $100, is the anchor. It makes $50 seem like an amazing deal, even if the shirt was probably never worth more than $30 to begin with. It happens with first impressions of people, in salary negotiations. Whatever number gets thrown out first sets the entire stage.
Okay, so our brains are full of these automatic little glitches. That might sound kind of discouraging, right? But here is the good news. We can learn to spot them. The solution isn't to get rid of the autopilot. We need it. But to learn when to switch over to manual control.
And this is absolutely the most important point. You can't just wish these biases away or delete them from your brain. They're a fundamental part of how we operate. The real power isn't in eliminating them, it's just in being aware of them, just knowing they exist and seeing how they work.
This here breaks it down perfectly. You can think of it as having two modes: fast thinking and slow thinking. Our fast, automatic brain is awesome for most everyday stuff. But for the really important decisions, we need to learn how to hit the brakes, slow down, and purposely engage that more effortful, logical part of our brain. The whole game is knowing when to switch from one mode to the other. And here's a super simple 3-step toolkit to help you do exactly that. First, when you feel that strong gut reaction, just pause, just for a second. Don't act on it right away. Second, actively really try to consider the opposite. Ask yourself, what is the absolute best argument against my position? And third, get an outside opinion. Ask someone you trust what they see. These little steps can be so powerful in breaking you out of that mental autopilot.
Look, understanding all these hidden forces isn't about finding flaws in yourself. Not at all.
It's about gaining this whole new level of self-awareness, and that is a genuinely powerful thing.
So let's just quickly recap what we've talked about. We learned that so much of our thinking is on autopilot. Our brain uses these mental shortcuts, and sometimes those shortcuts lead to errors or biases like confirmation bias and anchoring. But the big takeaway is this: just being aware is the first step. And once you see these patterns, you have the tools to challenge those automatic thoughts and make better choices.
And that's why this all matters so much. This self-awareness, it's not just some cool psychology fact. It really is a practical superpower. It helps you make smarter decisions in your own life, and it gives you this incredible insight into why other people think and act the way they do.
So I'll leave you with this question to think about. Now that you know about your brain's secret shortcuts, which one are you going to start paying attention to first? What's the first automatic thought you're going to choose to question?